Unks in the building. Morning emails, all you males or females. Today's Reggae Wednesday, and before I get started today, I want to definitely let me get my sound effects. I like those sound effects on Reggae Wednesday. Well, today, before I get started today, I want to Reggae Wednesday. I want to just call this Reggae Health Wednesday, and today's show is going to be geared towards men's health, and that's for men over 50. And we're going to have a conversation today with everybody in the house, and we're going to talk a little bit. I might even call my boys Johnny Famous, maybe call Crazy Men today, but we're going to talk a little bit about men's health today. And I want you to be with it. If your hip hop is getting older and his hip hop gets older, we definitely want to make sure that if you have anybody that's sick, anybody that's older, anybody that's in the 50s or 40s that you need to check on, hip hop lovers out there, make sure you check on them. I'm going to try to call my girl Fox out there. She's suffering from scleroderma and she's going through it. And but, you know, she's steady, strong. I see her working out. I see her getting better. I see her trying to get healthy. So, yeah, let's go to the music, but then let's get back to that conversation around 6 a.m. Good morning, everybody. Reggae Wednesday, Unks in the building. Let's get it popping.
Your systems. Message 018.
Little DJ Easy today. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. Let's work out. Come on. Remy Gus, good morning.
You think you are so fine.
5:27 in the morning, Uncle. Let's go.
Playing with my mind. You call me on the phone.
The world famous Reggae Wednesday. Let's get them, y'all. Come on.
And now I want you home.
Good morning. Come on.
Action. Sweet. Action. Sweet.
Go to YouTube. You know where it's at. Let's go.
Tender satisfaction.
Hey.
My chemistry is going. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need some action. Tender satisfaction. My chemistry is going. Can you cause a chain reaction?
Mr. Sweet Nice, they are for the girl day. Sweet Nice already and she come back again. Mr. Sweet Nice, they are for the girl day. Sweet Nice already and she come back again. Kiss her on her lips and she started to float. The way she feel like she start to climb smoke. She start get wild and grab on for me chop. She start feel I like man when they cook. But she a girl but wait.
Go to YouTube. You know what it is, Anthony Bonner. Good morning. That health is real. Let's go, y'all. Come on.
Tell the police me I carry him go a coat. Cause him can't make love, him only make joke. She say me want a man who no rough and coast. She want a man to move her from pillar to post. And she want a man in her life. A man to make she feel nice.
Right.
Boy, she want to feel nice. So she said Mr. Tweet, alright.
Good morning, come on.
Mr. Tweet nice, they are for the girl day. Tweet nice already and she come back again.
Shout out one time for mine. Reggae Wednesday, Unks in the building. Let's go. Let's get them this morning. Let's go. We're rocking the DJ Easy today. Let's go, y'all. Come on. Let's get some.
What you want?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody out here. Let's go.
Oh, and the morning see you type of loving. Holding and kissing, I no mention caressing when me sing. Girls request the decent type of loving. Holding and kissing, I no mention. Watch this. When up front, every time, no second class thing. No one in the world, I share them something. If you love her from start, and you put on the ring. What you want to break her heart and hurt her feeling.
So I want to tell you a story. So as I get into the same project, I want to tell y'all this little story. Something I don't really talk too much about. It was there was a period in time that I was worried about fame's health, you know. Like you know, as I'm older than fame is yeah, I'm on YouTube. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on the tube. Come check me on the tube, y'all. YouTube is where it's at. We'll put the link in on the YouTube. So back to the story. I was worried about fame and health. This is 20 years ago. So he made a long way back, a long journey to where he is now. It's just an amazing dude, man. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Let me get YouTube pumping. Come on, everybody, Reggae Wednesday.
So them can be I am for time and shut up that penny. Jump around and beat to stomach me. Just love how the girl them say. They act close and make the next girl say. In a stop love how the woman them a play. I stop flipping and make a next girl say. So man a play number 2. No, I have a feeling of the show.
Hey. Yeah, let's do it. Come on in, emails for you men and females. On to the building. Let's get it popping this one. Come on. Come on. Live. Hey. Go to YouTube. Let's move it on to YouTube, y'all. Let's go. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go, y'all. Come on. Let's go to YouTube where they don't stop the music. All right, you know, I'm only going to come into the other channels at 6 a.m. This is the last week of doing it. As a matter of fact, we're going on hiatus soon in a couple weeks. We're going to be gone for the summer. But let me just get the last couple of shows in before we go on for the last couple of weeks before we go on for the summer. Let's go, y'all. Uncle, come on. Shout out to my man Aqua Cook doing great things over at Westside High. I see you. Let's go, y'all. Go ahead, Ak. I see what you're doing. Let's go. Keep it moving, y'all. Let's go. Out in the building. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. Let's go. Get it popping.
I want you, baby. Let me be your man.
They call nothing else, I'm more plenty. All of the gentlemen in the world, they want it. Nothing else, I'm more plenty. All of the gentlemen in the world, they want it. It's like every woman that they can help. Almighty, you don't know property does what I'm here to do. You don't wonder me, you can be wonder with me. Now we put it all up in everlastingly. Said proper wonder with me. See that's what you do. Like things that one you are gold, me not tell no lie. You full of man control.
Reggae Wednesday, let's go.
Things that one you are gold, on a paper ball, it's up paper and bow, baby. Things that one you are gold, me not tell no lie. You full of man control, so everybody girl. Things that one you are gold, on
go to YouTube, everybody. Come on. Facebook sucks. Go to YouTube, please. The music, you can't do music on Facebook. Come on, let's go, y'all.
Spend weekend and left white. Him no matter again. That mean you better than them. Hold up your hand, yeah. See some girl full of big feet and a market give way. I'm gonna stop at the water them a straight. Woman, for you know your market keep strong. In the ear push up on your hand and sing along. Full of big feet and a market give way. I'm gonna stop at the water them a straight. Woman, for you know your name a call. Them can't bounce you like a football. Woman, you a lead. By 20 furlong, them can't get your speed. You the man want and you the man need. So you
y'all gotta come to YouTube, I'm telling you.
You'll have no position and run no breed. And get spit out like all orange seed. You the man want and you the man need. Keep that and him from gonna shake your breed. Y'all better them in need. They call them full of it. Then them back in their way.
Reggae Wednesday, everybody, let's go.
DJ Easy run the show.
I'm gonna bring in the channels. I'm gonna bring in the Facebook channels at 5:45. MOP page. I will bring you in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's a good track. As a matter of fact, I actually am going to start bringing in artists in the morning. So if you remember before you came on, I used to have DJ Premier, Smooth B from Nights and School. I had a bunch of artists come on in the morning, but I'm going to start bringing guys in. You know, just so early in the morning, so I got to be, you know, they have to keep that in mind as well. So it's like when they have projects coming out, you want to make sure you can bring the artists in. But I used to have a lot of artists coming in back in when I first started it. You know, but now I'm going to start bringing them back in. Let's go. Good morning, Duchess. Shout out to the Duchess. Hey. Good morning, Duchess. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. Let's get it popping. Come on, on to the building.
Take my hand cry without intermission. Love me up, you will forever expand and you wine. So could never be on sunshine. Woman just unleash your passion. And I want to take you for a stroll across the ocean. And I will pour out all of my emotions. Sing along, no one look about me, no in the race. Yeah, no matter what you do, what I forget.
Well, you know, that's a good conversation about the music industry. The problem is, I would rather bring other industries in because I would like to steer our people away from the music industry. Because what's ended up happening is that it just became an easy out for people. There was a time in hip hop where only the talented people that was actually into music did the music. And so you can differentiate. Now, because of it's such an easy out, everybody gets into it to the point where non-talented people and talented people clog up the sink, as you say, when it comes to hip hop. So, you know, I don't want to get into the music business. I would like to talk about what Earn Your Leisure and those guys more talk about, like how to extend the life of business for our community, not so much just music or entertainment or sports. There's a lot other businesses out there that as black people we should be getting into. Reggae Wednesday, let's go. I love when my Duchess comes on. Reggae cut. Reggae Wednesday. Let's go, y'all. Like everybody's not talented, you know what I'm saying? So back to my story about fame, you know. So today we're talking health, men's health on Reggae Wednesday. We're going to talk health today. If you have a man over 50 years old or 40 years old or 30 years old that's going through health issues that you want to talk about, that you want to bring to bear and you want to help them out, let's have conversation. We can have some advice. We can talk about men's health today. Let's go, y'all.
Fat girl alone give me eye problem, I dey hold them. And all the sexy girl alone give me eye problem. Watch the girl them.
Hello, Angeline Daver. I think malignant mockery is a very, very strong explanation of a description of what we do with Angeline Daver on the market. I think the accurate projection is warm and loving ribbing. I think that's what we should call it. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. Yeah, let's go, y'all. Come on. Good morning, everybody. Let's get some. Come on.
Now the sun dedicated to all the one and the place, so speak for yourself.
Reggae Wednesday. I think Max Mockery is strong.
All of the woman them big up, big up. All of the girl them big up, big up. All of the woman them big up, big up. Oh.
Big doctor day for Uncle Ace today. We're gonna be in a doctor. This is Doctor Week. Today I gotta go and do all of my I gotta make sure all the testing is right. So there's been no food and it's just water. And even though the coffee is all black this morning, none of my normal cinnamon and coconut milk and none of that stuff in there. So we're gonna have a nice little morning today with the doctor. Got to do all the blood testing and all that kind of stuff. I feel good though. Let's get it popping. Reggae Wednesday, come on.
In a prison lock up, the island on my back and never stop here come. No me come a street and me tool muscles up. So girl lay down and don't shut the church. Skin up, your ex can't think one that walk. Skin up, said if you don't fear that you walk, yeah, skin up. The ex can't think one that walk, yeah, skin up. Said if you don't fear that you walk.
Again, that's the conversation we're gonna have this morning. We're gonna talk about, and the great thing about Coco Dreams is that Coco Dream recognized this at a young age. If you have ever seen Coco Dreams in person, she's a very lovely woman of a certain age, and you can tell that she takes care of herself. And one of the things that helps her take care of herself is that is her diet, and she pays attention to her diet. So that's something that she's going to talk about. We're going to have a conversation. And this is not a professional. So by the way, I'm not a dietitian or nutritionist, but these are things that you can do to help keep yourself healthy on a general scale. Let's go. Come on.
Girls in boom boom shots ain't for free. My God, girls in pum pum shots, not for free.
So ladies in their 40s can put those pum pum shots on.
Body riders ain't for free.
Good morning, everybody.
Girls in body riders ain't for free.
Shout to PS5. Come on.
If you want a girl in the body rider, you better in your pocket for the young kid along. If you want a girl in the boom boom shot, you better pull on the wallet and don't stop paying up.
Lack of knowledge is why most of these people get sick. Lack of knowledge. We got to get that going back. We got to bring it back. Let's bring the MOP page. Come on, y'all.
If you not no money, tell you what can go back for sell ganja. Have some belly, come and tell you make some money.
And the match out. We're going to bring in a couple pages.
In your pocket for the young kid along. If you want.
Angeline Davis, we have made you famous. We have made you famous, Angeline. Good morning, everybody. I'm Tina Building Morning. Emails, all your males and females. So the story I was talking about Fame was, I was very worried about Fame. If you go back some years, we tried to get rid of those pictures, but Fame was having health issues. And we finally, he was in a different place. And to see him now today, as we talk about him moving forward in his career, it's almost like he's aging backwards. And the fact that I'm so proud of him as he goes with these new projects and all the things he's doing is very interesting. So shout out to Fame because, he's a testament to telling you that you actually can. You can reverse some of your health problems if you pay attention to it. Now back to, matter of fact, I might even call the Duchess this morning. I think it's an apropos conversation because very publicly, the Duchess is a cancer survivor. And now I'm not going to tell her to do this for everybody, but I would love for her to talk about this, how she beat cancer, and she had breast cancer, and it's an interesting story. So you know what? We're going to bring the Duchess in today if she has time. She's a very busy woman, obviously, but if she's got time. Because as the audience gets older, hip hop gets older. We still love hip hop, but we still suffer the same things that our parents and grandparents stuff, and even more so nowadays. So we're gonna find ways and let this information help us move forward. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. I'm sure to build in the morning. Emails for emails and females. Let's get it popping. Come on.
The whole night go man, a wiggle and a corner. Man a face sweet and a body pop on. He did it go great man out the broke up. Man a champion Jackie we about 10 top.
And by not talking about it or not addressing it doesn't mean it's gonna go away. All right, let's go, y'all.
No age to back in the big man done. One a nurse who a clap man still no come. You bet you a clap man still no come. Get the consequence girls what the outcome. And you have enough man love report and run.
Go to YouTube, everybody. Go to YouTube. You get it. Let's go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Let's go.
He's up, make up the problem. He's up, fire night come again. He's up, make up the problem. Y'all leave people, man, and find your own man. Set your foundation, make your own plan. Leave people, man, and find your own man. Set your foundation, make your own plan. Some girls don't want to work and live independent. Them live like a leech, they can't pay them rent. Every day they find a man, now get 1 cent. Only to them get all them.
Thank you very much. Thank you, brother. Malachi, thank you. That's a great story. And one day fame, he'll come on one day and talk about that one day. Matter of fact, we're going to talk today about his new project later. Great project.
Buy you a home and you have your own yard. Leave people man and find your own man. Set your foundation, make your own plan. Leave people man and find your own man. Set your foundation, make your own plan. And make a ease up, fire and I come again. Ease up, make a give the problem. Ease up, fire and I come again. Ease up, make a give the problem. Every day you get up with your lazy body, you don't want to find a job, you don't earn no money. Can't buy your shoes, big or dress fancy. Sharon man, fit buy your jewelry. Leave people man and find your own man. Set your foundation, make your own plan. Leave people man and find your own man. Set your foundation, make your own plan. What you know?
Good morning, everybody. Reggae Wednesday, 5:47 in the morning. Unction in the building. Just as lazy ladies finding ways to amaze to the world famous, most dangerous MOP first family. Shout to Billy, shout to Fame, shout to Fox, shout to Tep. Let's go, y'all. Unction in the building. We do this in the morning. The morning emails for you males and females. Hip hop has grown all the way up, and we're gonna keep talking about it. Let's go, y'all. Unction in the building. Let's work. Come on.
No, I don't know just how long this will last, but all I know, this feels like forever. It's only a fool who would like his own life. Changing got to see that you're.
Let's work. Come on.
No more pain in my heart, no more sorrow in my life, no more running up and down. In you I've found help and your joy to my soul. My nights are no longer cold. I'll wait for you down the road forever, my friend.
Roots, culture, responsibility. Let's go. Unction in the building in the morning. Emails for you males and females. Yes, I love the conversation about the music industry, but I like the conversation about industry itself. Let's go, y'all. There's a lot of other things we can do as a people that has to do with industry that's not the music industry. Let's go, y'all. I'm here. Let's work.
Pain in my heart, no more sorrow in my life, no more running up and down. In you I've found help and your joy to my soul. My nights are no longer cold. I'll wait for you down the road forever, my friend. Baby, say you love me until stars are no longer in the sky.
And you'll do better trading your own industry than trying to change the practices of the music industry. You won't change those practices. I'm sorry.
Jamaican man, oh God. You're the big Rasta man, Maccabee. What a people can dress. Lord, what a people can dress. Lord, what a people can dress. Lord, what people can dress. Oh, when say get about the Jamaican, see how them dress. In a Jamaica, them just keep impressed. When it comes to clothes, Jamaica no mess. Swear that you buck up in a fashion contest. Daytime, she look like an ordinary girl. Show it so hot, she a dress casual. Buck her up a stool, love you wonder if I see him girl. The girl, she come in like an enemy's world and can dress. Ooh, what a people can dress. Lord, what a people can dress. Ooh, what a people can dress. Lord.
But turn up the mirror, that's how they and it kill another man. Sometimes they liberate, sometimes unintentional. Kill it, really, me here a man have the gun. If you know you come up with a weapon.
Go to YouTube, go to YouTube.
To the people, them will live a short eye country land. It is funny how the gun was created by man
one. And the biggest victim are them same one. They don't stop contribute to them destruction. And that is why the rebel have to ask the question, why so much guns and ammunition? And why I so kill a next man? From them out nothing no wrong.
Go to YouTube.
Watch this. Me ball, bad boy, fool of fool. Me a bad long time and I give orders and roll. Bad boy, bad boy.
Go to YouTube, everybody. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Get off Facebook. Go to YouTube. YouTube. Go off Facebook. Go to YouTube. YouTube. Get off Facebook. Go to YouTube. Let's go, y'all. Unction in the building. Let's go. Come on. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. Morning emails for your males and females. This is Wednesday's work. We're in the building. Men's Health Wednesday. Let's go. Let's get it popping. Come on.
Fool. Me a bad long time and I give orders and roll. Bad boy, fool of fool. Me a order.
Money a run, and the wrong way it up. It a run from people. People are running down when it's every day. Money a run, it a run from people.
Make sure you like and share.
Easy run.
Make sure you like and share. Let's go, y'all.
Money a run, and the wrong way it up. It a run from people. People are running down when it's every money cut. You can see money a run, it a run from people. People are running down. Big rate it a keep the all the money them. $100 bills say him nah run again. You know see $50 in big time friend. So all to 20.
Go to YouTube, y'all.
Time he say that the money that run fast. The nobody can run people, but not so fast. The money ain't fast like a lightning to run come first. It not come last. It have 2 foot. That's why it can't sprint. You know here when me here. Money run left break too. Money a run too. Money a run too. Money a run too. Money a run. And the wrong way it
Reggae Wednesday, everybody. Let's work on to the building. Let's go.
Request the Bible, see good over evil. All the young girl, them me want to know listen. Request the Bible, see good over evil. Get up on the mic and what look for nothing. Woman who wear clothes and stop walk naked. And stop walk around but who no X-rated. Woman who wear clothes and stop walk naked. And stop walk around but who no X-rated. Some girl out the road, me no know what them a deal with. But the man them a look, them a walk off naked. And what kind of impression them want to give? They want a man to tell them say them look attractive. Good man no see you girl when you walk naked. So girl, jump around cause you massive and you big. You no expose your body, me say in your village. You now walk around with your X-rated. So what? We get the Bible, see good over. It's like woman on the road when they want to get your man. All them a do, you know them. My God! You man a treat you right. That I want to bump them like side. So they plan me in the back. People are on your frack. We bring a war them and return no in your idiot. Do all them in work, can only go to close. Some can bad minds and them make to them do. Can a fuck, can a fight over your man. Can a fuck, can a fight over your man. Yes, up there. Sense of pleasure. Answer like everybody. Mesmerize the brain, but any girl I want like she's
Reggae Wednesday.
she want me to go like Sprague, I turn the go. Jack it up, dig out the rail. Find this thing, the pan with body head. Ram it, send jam it, and do it for the world. Who will go the body, the mind and soul again. Jack it up, dig out the rail. Provide this thing, the pan with body head. Ram it, send jam it, and do it for the world. Who will go the body, the mind and soul. We not ease up, now show up mercy. We are making the girl them know. We are trying that we not use them in our face. You are the moon, watch out. Girl, your face and your shape and your fat and your.
I thought about putting out a female hardcore group years ago, and I got to tell you something, man. I said I'm gonna leave that to somebody else because I don't, it's hard to deal with the personalities of a bunch of different guys at one time. Can you imagine what it's like trying to deal with the personalities of a bunch of women, ladies? Come on, man. I got to give my boy Easy Breezy a lot of. He deals with a lot of, because education is a lot of females, and they have, it takes a lot of practice to know how to deal with that. So I'm just saying, no disrespect. I love my ladies. They're just all at once and having to manage all that is a lot. I used to manage female groups and it was hard. Let's go.
I'm in at least if I look fine, I feel your body one day at a time. Got your study bus for some right me heart. That's why me and the girl can live up.
The Lizzies, that would be kind of crazy. But I was thinking about doing it. I was like, I had the whole idea, concept, and everything. Big Ken. It was before Big Ken, but Lil Kim was out.
I mean, I think I'm a biggie for the taste of your decent, intelligent, and excellent. Pick up your chest around the environment.
I got a lot of ladies, but it's just not, one at a time for me.
So we gotta get it. So we are your belong. We can't even get together. I start to respond. Every day propose, I will sing my song. Think like a Japan.
Takes a certain skill that I may not possess.
One in a million. Give me the chance to show me love motion.
I can't even handle Angeline Davis right now.
you with compliments. So decent, intelligent. If I don't find you, I feel your body one day after that. So what? Stop, collaborate and listen. What gallant TV really is saying. If you look at it too much like you're being taken, we can see that the star watching IT.
It's very intimate when you were out on the road and all that. I used to, back in the days, I used to deal with I used to do my boy Paz K. And I would manage the tours with Paz K back in those days. When we had I Got a Man and all that stuff out. And then what happened was I used to manage the tours, and we had 3 different women on the tours, Tanya, Kendall, and Norette. And it was definitely a tough situation. I barely got through it. Let me just say that. So I was talking to Sparta, the label Sparta, which is part of Warner Brothers, is part of which is part of 300, and they want to put out like the hardcore label for the next hardcore kind of iteration of what Streets is doing, and they want me to come in, possibly to come in and sort of help run the label. And now shout out to Kevin Lyle, shout out to my boy Shadow, everybody. Now that might be something I'm interested in doing. But if Fame does it, he wants to bring it in, he's got to handle him. Fame's got to manage him. Then I'll do it. I'll put out anything. And hey, Anthony, why don't you manage him and then bring him out, and then I will give you the guidance to make sure that they can be successful. But you handle them. I don't want to have to deal with them. Can you imagine what it's like dealing with like a Sexy Red or Nicki Minaj? I gotta tell you a Nicki Minaj story. I was on a plane one day with Nicki Minaj. We was in quote unquote first class, right? But I'm on the right and Nicki Minaj is on the left. We're right across the aisle from each other, and the whole she just was sitting there, and the whole first class got into a beef over Nicki Minaj. And then the airlines called me and tried to do like a complaint against her, and I was like, man, get off my phone.
Girls them flexing, tight and tight out and something interesting. Watch a girl look and do what they know.
Watch me, get that. Remember enough girl face a bin, cause your man want you, and for them life in a problem. Enough girl face a... That was actually a combination of me and Billy. Billy Dance, me and Billy kind of came up with that because the song Sparta was so dope. Shout out to my man Perfect Storm. We did that in his studio. Storm manages Mobb Deep, R.I.P. Prodigy, and we did that album at his spot in his studio. And Sparta was such a dope idea, concept. Shout out to the Snow Goons for the beats too. And then I obviously I named most of the albums, the titles, right? So obviously me and Billy talked about it. And so me and Billy was like, yo, we should call the whole album Sparta, and Sparta was the title track for the album.
Credential, and every time I see them about it, official me have them yellow what's up. I know man I go for fun. Yellow what's up, every man them want for the grand. Yellow what's up, man I buy your.
Can you imagine?
Yellow what's up, man I buy your television. Yellow what's up.
Can you imagine like having to manage Coco Jean? You see how she talks? She's a very intelligent woman, but can you imagine having to manage a Coco Jean for the most of the day and deal with whatever she got going on? You better be on your P's and Q's.
Why we verse? Not to me, this I come from church. My nigga,
absolutely.
Why we verse? Not to me, this I come from church. My nigga, to wicked and get me blood church.
Takes a special kind of person to manage a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? Some people can do that. I'm not great at that. No, you know. I love my women, but I'm not good at it. So I know what to say because I'm very quick with what I believe. This is what I believe. I'm gonna stay right there. So I can manage, one, but I can't do I can't do a bunch of them. It would drive me crazy.
The answer, baby, we inside party, mama. Mad cobra say my body lero. When me hold in the
Reggae Wed, everybody else in the building.
Yes, I'm blowing marrow. Capleton with the lip service. When me hold him, being busy, I go fix. Red Dragon.
Shit, I got 2 daughters. When my daughters start bugging on me, I run from my daughters.
I get to begin and get me blood. I reverse. To me, this a come from church.
Hey Dad, it's Dahlia. Congratulations on your new show. I know how you get, so don't be too rough on her. Love you and good luck. Bye.
Love you too, monkey.
Welcome to the Raw Perspective with your host, the incomparable Uncle Lays, a.k.a. Lays Elliott, a.k.a. Lazy Lays from the world famous.
I run.
Kicking with you in topics about health, politics, music, art, culture.
For real.
And now, for your host, the legendary Uncle Lays.
Hey, yo. What's up, y'all? It's your boy.
Hey, yo, Lays is rock.
Oh,
yo, get in there and tell the people what it is, man. Let them know what this thing is all about.
Oh, come on, man.
Information.
That's what we do. The information mitigation implications. Let me tell you something, man. I love my sisters. I just don't know how to manage women. It's just a lot. Because of different personalities, and sometimes I can be a little insensitive. So I don't want to be in a situation where I'm insensitive. I got to focus on what I got going on right here. Because then I know, I got, this is what my boundaries are and what I got to be careful doing. Or else, you know what I'm saying? I got two grown daughters. And when they flip on me, they flip. And I don't even know what to do. I'm sitting there going, I just yell like, leave me alone. What are you talking about? And then I start yelling. Get off my phone. Good morning, everybody. Young to the building in the morning. Emails, all you males and females. We here this morning. Men's Health Wednesday, Reggae Wednesday. We can talk about health for men of a certain age. Hip hop is getting older. We want to make sure that our people get together and do the right thing. I actually on my way to the doctor today. Oh man, and a lot of big tests today. We're going to keep that going. As you know, we've been losing a lot of people. It will seem like you turn on Facebook and every week there's a RIP, there's a peace be on you and all this other stuff for people. You know, we lost our own Jada Chef a few weeks ago, DJ Mr. C and all these other great people that are, and that's not going to end. So while we're here, let's take a second, pause for a second and start talking about ways we can help each other and reach out to people that are of a certain age that want to be healthy. All right. This is Uncle Bill. Shout to my OSG family. Shout to my MOP First family. Good morning, everybody. Let's see who's in the building. This is Sparta. Pressing play on my day. Salute to the world family. Yes, Sparta's a great record. Had a lot of fun making that album. Ever tell a friend they should join the show. Lots of info on her. Absolutely. Everybody share alike. Put it out there as we do this labor of love. It's a great labor of love. We got there, do it every week. And we also know that when it comes to hip hop, I'm one of the most hardcore dudes when it comes to hip hop. I love hardcore hip hop. I love it. I'm a big fan of people like Freddie Fox and all these people that put out these hardcore records. And the thing about it is, you don't got to be a caricature. You don't got to be out here fronting at a certain age. I'm a father, grandfather. I'm walking around going, yo, son, not on me. No. But I will whoop your ass if I have to. I've documented ass whoop history if I need to. But that's not where I'm at now at this stage of my life. At this stage of my life, we're about teaching and enlightening and making sure that each one teach one to the next generation. All right? So that we are not the last generation. I'm to the building. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Beanie. So the story about fame that I was talking this morning, it was a great story about fame. It led into the men's health conversation. I know about 25 years ago, we had a conversation, and me and Fame, I was very worried about Fame. This is during the G Unit days and the Rockefeller days. And I was very concerned about my brother. Fame is a brother to me, and he's more, when I say more like a son, more than y'all know. You know what I'm saying? He is a family to me, and I kind of adopted Fame as part of my family, So when he was going through it, I was in a lot of pain but I was very close to him too. So I was going through it with him kind of like, and back then I didn't have the understanding on how to deal with that as he was going through his issues or whatever the case may be. So to see him today, after he went through all that stuff, to see where he is today is a great story. And I hope one day he allows us to tell the story, because we start talking about the documentary and the story of MOP. We got to keep it real. And I got to tell you something. Fame's story is such a powerful, amazing story. I want one day that we cannot tell the MOP story without telling the story of Fame. you know, and I hope that one day he allows us to tell this story. So I'm going to work on him. As a matter of fact, he's got a new project coming out, and we're going to sit down and talk more about it later on as we start to do great things with the next iteration of the career of the Mash Out Posse. So I think it's important that we go ahead and support Fame, but I would really love for Fame to tell his whole story. It's such an interesting story. It would just be an amazing story. Today is Triumph on Wednesday, Reggae Wednesday. I'm gonna bring the Duchess in soon. As a matter of fact, let me put the link in. Come on in here. My sister Coco Deems and Kimberly. The name should be called Fame. By the way, his name Fame, because his name was Slap, but his name Fame came from his brother, rest in peace, Malik, and Malik was the one who said his name should be Lil Fame. His brother, rest in peace to his brother Fame. That's where Fame came from. The name Lil Fame came from his brother Malik. You know, I thought that was great. Rest in peace. Anyway, I'm sorry, Queen. That I gave you the wrong link. This is the actual link. It's a link this morning. Yeah. So I cannot wait to be able to tell that story. Go to YouTube, by the way. As a matter of fact, we have a few more weeks left of this show this year, and then we're going to go on summer hiatus, just like the OSG stuff we're going to do. But the difference is on OSG hiatus, we're going to go away and allow other people to come in and do the OSG hiatus. And once we do that, that'll be kind of dope. I'm going to bring in Coco Dreams after Black Facts. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of history. There's a lot of books that are going to come out of this conversation with MOP. A lot of conversations and a lot of perspectives. And as a guy who's been through every part of it, you know, you'll get the book from me. I don't talk about everything here, but, you know, you'll get the book from me over time. Let's go to blackfacts.com to get the day started. Okay, Black Fact, Reggae Wednesday. Let's go, y'all. Reggae Wednesday, Men's Health Wednesday. Let's go. If you got somebody in your life that's a man or a woman or somebody of a certain age that loves hip hop and loves the journey, make sure you reach out to them today, talk about health, and I'm going to talk about the men, but women, obviously, I'm going to bring the Duchess on soon, and she could talk about her journey through health, and you can sort of explain it, and you'll get to understand why I love her so much. All right, Unc's in the building. Good morning, everybody. Blackfacts.com today. Fact of the day, May 29th, 1973, Thomas Bradley was elected the first African-American mayor of Los Angeles. Mayor Thomas Bradley. That's in 1973. The son of sharecroppers and the grandson of slaves, Bradley grew up in poverty. When he was 7 years old, his parents moved to L.A. Seemed like everybody in L.A. got on makeup, even the homeless people. He was attending Southwest University Law School while police officer began his practice as a lawyer. Then when he retired from the police department. Societal contributions. His first mayoral campaign was in 1969. The city was still recovering from Watts riots in 1965. Think about that. In 1973, he defeated Sam Yorty after establishing a supporter coalition of white voters. Bradley was reelected 4 times. Buy me a drum machine. Bradley's achievements included securing the 1984 Summer Olympic Games for Los Angeles, presiding over 2 decades of expansion and civic growth. He ran for governor of California twice in 1982 and 1986, lost both times to Republican George Dominican, and he was the first African-American to have a gubernatorial ticket in California. For more Black Facts, go to blackfacts.com. Let history be no mystery, because if it's a mystery, it will definitely repeat itself. Hey, by the way, good morning. Oh, look who's here. First, let me bring Coco. Good morning, Coco. Good morning, Coco Dream.
Good morning, darling. How are you?
Oh, excellent. Today
good morning, everybody.
Men's Health Wednesday, or Health Wednesday.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I love men's health. We need men's health.
Yeah, we do.
For all the women looking for good men, we need them to be healthy. Let me tell you something.
We need them to be healthy.
It's an investment.
today, well, we'll start the conversation today. Right now, I'm only drinking water because I have to go to the doctor today. This is another doctor. I've been going to the doctor. This is doctor week for me, and I'm doing all the doctor stuff. And I'm going to bring in the Duchess in a second. So I see your private messages. So I'm going to give you a little break today, but I'm going to bring in the Duchess so she can tell her story and why health is so important.
Yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good so far. So far, I'm doing good. I didn't think I would. Yeah, but
okay.
All right.
Well, the conversation keeps it interesting. That keeps you motivated. You know what I'm saying? That's the key.
Okay.
So at this stage of my life, hip hop, as hip hop gets older, we got to start talking about ways in which we can stay healthy. We have a lot of great stories that we need to bring out, and survival stories and power stories, and the reason why we are resilient. So today's resilience story, I'm going to bring in the queen herself, the Duchess.
Hey, good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, Deandra. So Deandra Harmony, aka the Duchess, that's her real name, by the way, guys. Deandra Harmony. So today, another thing that she is elected to do was to go on my health journey with me, and
Nice.
And one of the things that's happened since the creation of the Harmony Elliott brand, what's happened is I've been getting healthier as time has progressed, over time. And a lot of things has to do with the company you keep. But she has had her own struggles with health over the years. She is a cancer survivor herself, by the way, for those that don't know. And I'm gonna need her help too. Yeah,
I'm gonna need her help.
Trust me. She not only that, she's also a coach. She's also an advisor, a spiritual coach, and all the things that come with that survival. She survived cancer without radiation. It was a terrible time in her life that she was able to come through, and to bring her to the space now where she was saved, and now she can tell her story. So I just want to say good morning to the queen, the Duchess, my life inspiration. And a lot of people don't want to know. They always say, well, Lays, you're in love. Well, listen, let me tell you something. I will fight everything about everything. But when it comes to love, I fight as hard as I love. I love and I fight.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
So if I love you, I love you. And if I don't like you, it is what it is.
That's it. That's it.
But anyway,
no in between.
There's no middle ground with me. I go hard either way. There's no middle ground. All right. So Queen, Duchess herself, Deandra Harmony. Good morning. How are you? How are you, my dear?
Good morning, my love. Wonderful.
That's how I feel every time I see you, Duchess.
Yes. Do it. Do all the love stuff. I love it.
Love stuff.
And look, why am I in between y'all? I feel like on the screen, I'm like,
I need you.
happening?
I need you here as balance. I need all of that. I need because I need the balance reaction there.
I see.
I have to share. He does the sound effects all day, every day and night. It's not just on the show. It's.
I know. He does Lindsay. Does he give you Lindsay?
He gives me Lindsay. He gives me. Everybody shows up, just depending on. He's a walking concert.
I said, hi, Deandra. If you're gonna be in a relationship with Lays, you're gonna have to be in a relationship with us as well. So
yes, it's a full cast here.
I got a question. Are you tired of him yet, Deandra? Just want to ask.
Them. You mean them? Which one?
It's a whole crowd. I love them all. I'm tired. No.
I think the Duchess is a polygamist. I don't know. What do you say?
The Duchess is now a poly because she's also in a relationship with Latifah Frankenstein. And Muggsy Kardashian, man, Shane, she's down with Muggsy. My face is falling. All right. So anyway, I brought you here for a more serious reason. As we talk about Men's Health Wednesday and Health Wednesday, if you have anybody in your life that loves hip hop, that's of a certain age, that are going through some of these health issues, reach out to them today and talk to them today. And you yourself, Duchess, the Queen herself, has been through some major health. You want to tell your story?
I'm happy to share that.
And listen, if Coco starts laughing, I'm just gonna mute her because I never know.
No, I need to hear this. I need to hear this. I need to hear this. I'm gonna be listening very intently because it's personal to me at this stage of the game. This is personal. Go ahead, Duchess.
I hear you. I received that. So one morning I woke up in 2019 in July, and I was stressed out. It was no different than any other morning. I had a very busy career. I was a single mom. I was going through a divorce. And I was just about to finalize my divorce. I woke up, I stretched, and I felt a pain in my chest right underneath my left breast. And I panicked for a minute. And then I'm like, no, this is fine. Everything's fine. Right. So I get in the shower. I do a breast exam on myself in the shower. And sure enough, there is definitely a lump. But my first thought was, I don't have time for this. And so I avoided it for about a month. And then I finally told my closest friend, I said, I need you to hold me accountable to get a mammogram. I finally got the mammogram and finalized my divorce in August of 2019. And about 9 days later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Wow.
And immediately, this is the hardest part for me. I was diagnosed and I immediately went from being me to being a cancer patient.
Yes.
Now I'm on this cancer cartel and everything feels urgent. The fact of the matter is, it was already in my body. I didn't have to make urgent decisions, even though I was being told to and pressured to. So because of that, I kind of paused a little bit. I tried to slow things down. I knew what I needed to do as far as save my life, but I wasn't going to make any rush decisions. So as I'm getting scheduled for all of these diagnostics and procedures, because they got to do PET scan, they got to do MRIs, all these things, I'm reading and I'm studying about the business of cancer because I was in the healthcare industry and I knew enough about the business of cancer from a financial perspective, but I wanted to go deeper. I found out about that. And then I started researching and studying the emotional aspects of it and what I had done to contribute to this, to nurturing cancer in my body. And I found I was actually accountable and responsible for my cells turning and going rogue and then multiplying very quickly, because that's what resentment does in your body. That's what unexpressed anger does in your body. That's what the feeling of being overgiving and overdoing, not receiving, brings up in a woman's body.
Yeah.
And a man's body too. It's not just women.
That's true.
And so with that, I knew as I began studying it deeper and deeper, I began to see the spiritual aspects of it too. And I ultimately said to myself, if I created this within me, then I can uncreate it. And so it was a deeply personal journey. I lived in Arizona at the time. I was fortunate to have access to Mayo Clinic. So I had the best doctors in the world. They did tell me, we're going to have to remove your breasts. And so I went through a bilateral mastectomy, which was followed by a second surgery because there were some complications. And after that, I elected to pause. I was supposed to have reconstruction. I said, I'm just going to pause and let my body heal for a while. Just at that time, we were coming into the pandemic in early 2020. And so at that point, because my life was already saved, the reconstruction was an election. Going through radiation and chemotherapy still needed to happen. But I sat with it and I prayed about it. I knew in my spirit, if I caused this emotionally, and if I contributed to it by, even though I ate pretty well, I wasn't real consistent. I didn't take my health that seriously until it was threatened. So I said to my doctor, the head of oncology at Mayo, I said, I'm not going to do the radiation and I'm not going to do chemo. And he's like, he couldn't understand why I would make that decision. And I said, instead, I'm going to change my life. Now, he didn't argue that it was possible. His argument was that most people will never do that. And he said, and so when the cancer comes back, it's not going to be something we can just remove. It's going to take your life. That's what he told me. And I said, can you guarantee me that? And he said, no, I can't guarantee that, but statistics show. And I said, okay. And he said, how about this? How about you just do 1 round of chemo and let's just see how it goes? And I said, well, can you guarantee me that 1 round of chemo won't have irreversible damage on one of my internal organs? And he said, no, I can't guarantee that. And I said, so it's no deal. I'm not negotiating with my life.
Right.
I'm betting on me.
Right.
And so I made that choice. And to this very day, it's not that I'm perfect in my health or what I do, but I try to be as conscious as possible, because I remember and I keep in mind my cells respond to my thoughts, my feelings, how I'm
That's
going.
correct.
The people who are around me, the things that I engage in, what am I filling my spirit with? Am I paying attention to things that don't matter? Am I caught up in drama, or am I doing things that matter, that are
Right.
in alignment with who I am? And so as I began to cultivate this new lifestyle, and new people came into my life, old friendships dissolved, all kinds of things happened. I didn't know at the time this was a spiritual awakening for me. But coming back to health, this is where I think the conversation is important, because the medical community would have us to believe that health is on one side, education is on one side, spirituality is on one side, and this
Right.
is all connected. It's
It
all.
is.
Well,
So,
let me say this first of
I
all.
just
Yeah, first of all, let me just say this before you say Coco. Yes, they did do a double mastectomy. They removed your very by the way, she showed me a picture of the time before. Very beautiful breast is that you that they took away from you. But let me just say this to you: you are even more beautiful today. Your survivorship, your ability to turn that situation into a positive and I'm not saying that cancer without chemo, surviving cancer without chemo is something that everybody's going to be able to do. I'm going to say that you did it, and there was a purpose and a reason for you to be here. This is one of the defining qualities when people talk about why you love her. It's not only because of her brilliance, her sweetness, or whatever, her charm, but her resilience and how she's able to manage scenarios. Even as I go through situations, she can talk me through situations. Keeping lays out of the road. Her counsel has been great, and I am very proud to have you by my side, and I'm very happy that you were saved by yourself, and also by the grace of God, that you were saved to continue your life and continue to do the great things that you're going to do. And ultimately, as you start to continue to talk more about this in the world, she has a book out, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. What's the title of your book, Didi?
put in the chat.
I'll put it in the chat. It's called Breath by Breath, Soften into Your Divinity, One Breath at a Time.
Yeah, she's gonna put it in the chat for you guys. You can go to Amazon and check her book out. It's been out for a while, but she tells everything she's talking about is in her book. So we're not telling you stuff that not in her book. But I think from a health perspective, Coco, I think it's important that these stories get out here as well.
Yeah.
And even with the salacious stuff, I think it's important that these stories get out. Go ahead, Coco.
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for even sharing your story. And the reason why I actually wanted to hear from you as far as your survivor experience is because my first daughter, my oldest daughter, was diagnosed with leukemia in November of 2023. So
Right.
I am in the valley of the cancer journey because I'm watching my daughter go through chemo right now, and it is very upsetting to on a very cellular level for me, because cancer is not just for the individual, it is also for the people affected that love you as well.
Yes.
And you are a warrior. You went through this fighting, but there are some people who, like my daughter, I can't say that she's not a fighter because every day she lives for my grandson, her son. But I'm trying to convince her that listening to doctors tell her or pump drugs or radiation into her is not the only way to fight cancer. There's many different sources and ways of fighting cancer that is natural.
Yes.
I love the fact that you decided to take matters into your own hands to avoid those steps. But my daughter is already in chemo, and despite my protests, I'm trying to get her to filter out those chemicals out of her body. So,
Yes.
I'm recommending that she takes alkaline or adopting an alkaline diet with a vegetarian, and just reduce the acid in her body so that she can actually get all of those drugs out of her system naturally. It's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
At this place in my life, I don't know if I'm going to see the next 10 years with my child, but I'm
Wow.
going to fight tooth and nail to keep her
Wow.
around.
How important is it, Deandra? I'm on with Deandra Harmony, the Duchess, aka the Duchess, the Queen of all queens, also with Coco Dreams, and Kimberly's here. Hi, Kimberly.
Good
She's
morning,
in the-
good morning, family.
Good morning, Kimberly Robinson. We're talking Health Wednesday. We started talking about men's health. We're also talking about women's health, and we talk about cancer. Cancer is a diagnosis. It's terrifying for Black women, and also Black women have an extra reason to be afraid. Although Black women have a slightly lower risk of developing cancer than white women in this country, they are more likely to die and die faster than non-Black women. And a lot of the effects, and this is from the American Cancer Society, a lot of the effects have a lot to do with diet and things that matter. When we talk about alkaline and acids in your body, Deandra, how important is it from a dietary space that you eat the right foods and things that you need to do, especially when you start developing alkaline and acids in your body? And what kind of things would give you the acids and those things that will cause inflammation in your body, which is the bed where cancer survives on? Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to address that, but first I want to come to you, Coco, and be very, very direct and personal and introduce a new paradigm, because this is what worked for me. All I can share with you, because I'm not a medical professional, is what worked for me. When I was first diagnosed, everyone in my life was like, we got to fight this, F cancer, going on about it. And that did not resonate with me, because although I have had a very difficult childhood, difficult life, and I've overcome a lot of obstacles, I reached a point in my understanding that my cancer cells were once normal cells that flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And once
that's right.
Once they flipped, then they started multiplying real fast because they thought that I was the enemy. Right? So now they're trying to take me down because they're trying to do what they do, which is protect and serve.
Right.
And so when I thought about that as a microcosm, I began to realize that sounds a whole lot like misguided love, which is what we do when we smother our children. It's what we do when we, make certain decisions in relationships, as when we're codependent, when we're not here.
Right.
And so misguided love can be shifted into real love if you know what to do, if you recognize it. So I began to, instead of fighting my cells, because see, cancer doesn't come from outside of you. It's not like it's in my case, it didn't come from outside. It came from internal.
Yes.
So why would then I want to fight myself? I don't want to fight myself. I want to love myself.
Right.
And so what I did is I began to imagine. I would sit and I would visualize my cancer cells. I would love them. I would tell them, thank you. I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to love and protect me. You've done your job and you can be released now. And I just kept going through the process of self-forgiveness, self-compassion, instead of fight. And I do believe that had a lot to do with what I was cultivating inside of me emotionally that kept me stable and allowed me to be present with the decisions that I made. So
that is a very not to cut you off, Queen, but that is a very radical approach to, and it worked for you. As Beanie Long says, cancer is different for everyone. He said her mom was dealing with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and CCL for 20 years. Information is key. A great support system is mandatory. But that's a very radical approach to cancer, and it worked for you. But do you feel that that's something that someone who may not have your ability to focus their energy can be successful at?
I think that we each have access to information and the opportunity. We each have an internal guidance system. We each have God. We each have the ability. I do believe that whatever is in your heart to do If you are internally driven to do something and it feels right for you in your cells, in your body, then go that direction. And I would encourage anybody to do that. Not to say follow my path. My path is what worked for me. But you have internal system. You have the Lord available to you 24/7. And so when I looked at that, I thought about how, first of all, I was in the pandemic. And so dealing with all of that, and then even then when they wanted to do the reconstruction, and to them, it was like, let's go ahead and schedule the reconstruction. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I don't want foreign objects in my body.
That's right.
And I'm not size 0. I don't have extra fat to take from my belly and put in my breast. I didn't want to be carved up like a turkey. And no disrespect to anybody who made whatever decisions. Again, it's a deeply personal journey. But when I was in front of my plastic surgeon, he's going on about, let's do this. You know, he's trying to convince me, you're young, you're going to want to date, you're going to want to get out there. And I'm like, if a man doesn't want to be with me because I don't have breasts anymore, I'm better off knowing that and move on to someone else, because that's not the man for me.
Well, let me tell you, as a man who's with you, you are perfect in every way, and I have to tell you, that even made me love you even stronger. That you had and I'm not knocking anybody, because it's a very personal journey, like you said, women. And so when I see all these women out here putting poison in their body when they didn't have a choice, because a lot of women have to do reconstruction because they want to come back and feel whole again. They want to put those parts back in their body, they believe, to feel whole. So for you to have the courage to do that and decide not to reconstruct, that to me makes you even more beautiful. By the way, I just want to tell you that.
Very strong. Good
morning. Can I jump in here a little bit?
Yeah, come on, Kim. Good morning, April. Good morning, April. Good morning, April.
Good morning.
It was so beautiful. Listen. Oh, I'm sorry. It was someone else.
Go ahead, Kimberly. It's your time.
It was so awesome listening to Deandra's story, because I've heard this story 800,000 times already with different results, different journeys. I've heard the story. I've seen women go back after breast cancer and start smoking cigarettes again, all kinds of things. So when I decided to do my workshops, the first thing in the workshop I do is not only have them focus on breathing, water, the healthy things that are good for you, but also ask you, who are you outside of who you are? If you're rocking 38 double D's, who are you when you don't, if you wouldn't have them? Think about this. And so we think about who we are internally before we talk about who we are externally. So when she said she decided not to have the I'm sorry, I forgot what the term is called. Yes.
Reconstruction.
So when she decided not to have the reconstruction, that was so powerful, because we always think that who we are is because we have the 33-inch, the 32-inch waist, or the 38 double D's. And once you understand that you are this magical being outside of that, then you can almost conquer everything. And as I put in the chat before, there is no money in the cure. Right. So I love that she knew that going in. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate your story. I love the energy that you gave to yourself to be able to overcome this. And I'm pretty sure it's still a journey with you mentally. So with that, I'll just, give you the glory, and it will give God the glory to have that in you.
Yes,
April Leon, thank you, Kimberly. April Leon and Sabrina Long is both on the phone. Both have very serious cancer stories that they're dealing with right now. Well, they've been dealing with. April had a family member who she basically took care of into the grave, and Beanie, whose mom is going through. Good morning, Beanie. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
So April, while we have April on this morning, I know she's very busy. April, you went through this, and you dealt with a person who a family member who actually went through this situation. And how tough was that for you? And rest in peace to this woman, because she did pass. I remember going through this every day, and I would call and check on you. How has this been? How is this story affecting you, and how do you feel about what's being said today?
First, I just want to honor the Queen and give God the glory for bringing her through. And thank you for sharing your story and being an inspiration to many other women who are here, because you didn't just save yourself, you are saving many others through you and your story. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
And prayers to you, Coco, your daughter. In my situation, it was my ex-fiance's cousin, who obviously was, I was very close with, and she suffered in silence for too long. And by the time she revealed her situation, she literally, her flesh was being eaten out of her breast. And she had like a 4x3x2 open flesh wound.
Wow.
That, eventually I had to like irrigate daily and clean this wound and change the wound, where you can just see like the deepest part of anybody's flesh you can possibly see. And she eventually, she refused to go into hospice, so we had her in the house. So it was a journey, because it was just two of us who can take care of her personal body, right? Because obviously she, couldn't do certain things. So I would go to work and rush over to the house every day and care for her, between myself and his sister. She became incapacitated. She couldn't walk, so we had to change her diaper every day. And, I think the hardest part, one of the hardest parts of it, is the fact that your mind, right? She had a very strong mind. And to watch a strong-minded person just suffer and have no control or ability to do anything, and have to allow other people to touch her and cleanse her and wash her.
The loss of personal independence is a big deal with cancer. Personal independence, yes.
And it took a toll. It took a physical toll on me. I had an injury that I fell down the stairs, and I aggravated the injury to my spine, moving her and caring for her on a daily basis. So physically, I'm still dealing with the effects of caring for her, but emotionally and mentally, like, those are things that you just don't ever forget, right? You don't ever forget the sight. You don't ever forget, like, every night when she thought it was her final night and she's calling everybody into the room, like, to hold her hand because she was waiting to die. Like, so just to watch somebody wait to die, is one of the most horrific.
That is a very powerful thing, April. I was around when you were going through that, April. It was terrible. And
yes. And I thank you, ladies. I thank you for always checking up on me. And all of that to say is, to any women who's listening or hears this recording afterward, like, please don't play, with your health that way. Right. Don't allow that to happen to yourself, because the bottom line is that she allowed this to happen to herself. And,
wow.
She allowed this suffering to happen to herself.
Right.
And it could have been highly preventable. And like it was mentioned earlier, it's not just you that suffers, it's the people around you that suffer. And yeah. So
what a great revelation. I think it's important that we keep these stories going. Beanie Long is on this morning. Thank you, April Leon, for your story. And as you know, April is a major contributor to the morning emails. She's my sister. I love her. And the fact that, all these things I know, I've been there while she was going through this, and we will continue to support our sister April Leon. We love not only her contribution, but her spirit, and she's one of my Brownsville neighbors. And she, if anybody is a warrior, they call her the Avenger, but I call her the Warrior. April Leone is a warrior. So we love you, sis, and thank you very much for being a part of this conversation this morning. Beanie Long, good morning, Beanie. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
This, we have a lot of fun on the show. We start a lot of trouble. We make a lot of jokes. But sometimes we sit down and we have real serious conversations about things that affect us. And this is one that really affects us. That's why I brought the Duchess on this morning, because I felt that this was an important, not only just for female, but men as well. I lost my father to cancer. You're dealing with it now with your mom. What is life like for you dealing with something like this in your family?
Well, we've been dealing with it for so long. So she fortunately has a treatable cancer, and she's been in treatment for, it's actually been almost 30 years. And she's a survivor, and we just do all of our research. We have a really good doctor in the family, fortunately. My sister-in-law is a hematologist and oncologist. And she's helped us when there's a reset. She's helped us through, been our second opinion and third opinion. and she's been very helpful. But I've dealt with cancer even more so with more than just my mom. I took care of my mother-in-law until she passed. We didn't find out about her cancer until I was taking care of her, because she hid it from everyone.
Wow.
And I also had a sister-in-law that passed from breast cancer, unfortunately. And she probably could have survived, but she went a different route. And she kind of waited too late and then decided to rely on other means to get, and she didn't really want treatment. And by the time she decided she wanted it, it was too late. Mm-hmm. So it affects everyone different, but cancer is a beast. And a lot of times you have to conquer it with attitude. You have to get rid of all the toxicity in your life, meaning not even just food, but even toxic people.
Yes, absolutely. And toxic
you have to release all of that to be right, and toxic thoughts also. And sometimes you have to release all of that to be able to even receive treatment. Because you could go through treatment, but if your lifestyle hasn't changed, treatment's not going to work for you.
Wow.
So everyone has to take it in stride and do it the way that works for them.
That's it.
And that's why, but it's a big deal, yeah.
Even when, and that's why the conversation about the reconstruction for me was not about what other people wanted for me or how I was going to fit into the world. I had complete clarity. I want to be comfortable in my own body. That's what I want.
Right.
So whatever that means, that's the direction I'm going to move in. So anything and anyone that doesn't align with that clarity, it has to go. Mm-hmm. And that's why I just like when you were sharing, they didn't want to tell people or they wanted to make other decisions. When we don't have the clarity of what really matters, we can't make good choices that are going to support us long term. So that's where just you said the toxicity from every direction, it has to be released from your life if you want a life where you feel good in your body and you feel good about your life. But if that's not your goal, that's not your direction, internal driving system, then you're just not going to make good choices. It comes down to that.
Well, Beanie, first of all, I want to just commend Beanie and April and also for sharing their stories with us this morning. Normally I cut up around this time of the show, about 6:45. I'm really cutting up. I'm already into full Lindsay land and doing something crazy. But today I felt it was very important that we have these kind of conversations, and the health conversation that sort of evolved into these conversations about things that women are going through. I don't know if we have enough show for this kind of conversation, but I think the conversation should continue because there's information needed out there. And remember, all of the information that we're giving it's personal. So, you have to, as Beanie said, you have to sort of find what fits for you. In Deandra's case, when as going through cancer, she decided not to get chemotherapy, and she decided to allow them to take her breast and decided to heal and not get reconstruction. But that's not for everybody. Everybody has their own path and their own journey. I think it's important. Let me say goodbye to Beanie and April. Beanie, it was an important thing for me to call you in April to chime in on this conversation, because there's no way I can mansplain cancer to women. So I needed somebody to come in and have a conversation that actually made sense. So thank you. We love you, April. We love you, Beanie Long. And we'll talk to you guys later. Wow.
Hey, Lace, can I jump in?
Yeah, jump on in, Kim. There you go. Good morning, Pastor Cologne.
I'm sitting here and I'm holding my Bible in my hand, and it's not because I'm overly religious. I'm not religious at all. I'm just spiritual in who I am, my thoughts, and a lot of things I say. I cut up with you as well in the road, so all the time. I wanted to mention my dad just overcame prostate cancer. We know that's what O.J. Simpson just died from. Prostate cancer is a cancer that actually a lot of Black men get, and they can also overcome prostate cancer once you understand. And what I'm hearing with the guests that were on, our sisters that were on, including Deandra, when you find out that something is happening within you, it scares you at first. But this is your journey with yourself. This is your time to speak to yourself. What am I scared of? Because it's happening. It's happening.
Yes.
So what you have to make the decision. And because we are a group of people, I use this in my group all the time. We were taught by people who didn't know, who were taught by people who didn't know, who were taught by terrorists. And so when we're
terrorists use that. Yes.
Yeah, when we're told that, you cure cancer with radiation, you cure cancer with chemo, you cure cancer with tamoxifen, and all of these things that we first couldn't pronounce until they told us what it was, then that's what we think we have to go. But if, as Deandra said, it was a lot of things I took from listening to her. You have to listen to yourself, your journey, your body. And the more positive you are, the more closer you get to the real answer for you. And so I wanted to first commend the people that are actually going through this. And two, I wanted to commend also the caregivers, because as April said, it is extremely hard on the people that choose to go through this with you. So Coco Dreams, Deandra, Sabrina, April, all of us that have to go through this, I send all the positivity out to you and all the clarity that you can have to help you go through your journey. So I just wanted to throw that out.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Thanks, Kim.
we do cut up, Coco and Kim, but and by the way, we have good morning, Doc. I'm going to bring in Dr. D Nice. She's an actual doctor. And as we talk about in this world of cancer and prostate cancer and breast cancer, I don't know how long she's been on listening to the story of Deandra was traveling through breast cancer, and how she was as a cancer survivor and through all of the things that she's been through. I don't know how much of you heard of that, Dr. D Nice, but as a person who probably understands this more than most of us, this cancer journey, this prostate cancer journey in our community, what are some of the things we can do to help deal with some of these very invasive and very powerful, traumatizing diseases that are affecting our community?
One of the most important things really is just screening. As the screenings are available, especially for breast cancer and cervical cancer, prostate cancer, the evidence is still a little iffy, but the PSA and the digital rectal exam, they're still available. They're it was falling out of favor for a little bit, but it looks like it's swinging back around. The evidence is swinging back around to it. The bottom line is, if you can catch things early, you can do more about it. If you're delaying getting the screening, and what screening is that you have no symptoms. This is just regular testing that people do to check for cancers. We know that because of our lifestyles, because of how the world is set up and different foods that are out there and the different habits that people are having, it makes us all susceptible to these cancers. And we screen with pap smears every 3 to 5 years if they've been normal in the past. We screen with colonoscopies every 10 years if your colonoscopy has been normal or you don't have any family history. We do PSAs once you get to a certain age. There's so many screenings out there, and most of us are just not even doing that basic checking that we know needs to happen. So just starting off with screening.
You know, what's important, and one of the reasons I had the show, I think it's important because we lose a lot of our especially our hip hop community. We lose them at around this time. And every week I'm watching, I'm seeing peace be on you, bro. We just lost Ja the chef to the complications with his kidneys. One of our own morning yawners, rest in peace, Ja the chef. We all knew him very well. He would come on the show. Toby Hicks is suffering from some things that we know as we get older. I think this health show is an important one that we should have because ultimately as hip hop grows up, we suffer the same complications that our mothers, fathers, and grandfathers have dealt with. That being said, information is key. Information is key. And I think, thank you for that, Deandra. So that's why I felt it important to bring the Duchess on this morning and really have this conversation. Two things you pointed out, Dr. Dinesh, I think that we need to look at. One was you said that for prostate cancer, we still don't have a verifiable way of screening that. Is that really true?
It is, and so the PSA is there, and when it's abnormal, it's abnormal. It's indicating something. The thing is, it's just the gray areas of it. When it's normal, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's nothing going on or that there is something going on. It's just there's some gray areas in it. Most urologists, though, which are the doctors that primarily take care of prostate cancer, most people are kind of swinging back to using it. Basically, doing something is better than nothing.
Right.
And so I, even myself, there was for many years when some recent evidence had come out, probably about maybe 18 years ago or so, something like that, where the PSA wasn't as beneficial. I had stopped doing it. Now I've reincorporated into my practice based on this evidence that I'm speaking to different urologists out there. So it's still gray.
It's a little gray, but the PSA does work, but it's you're saying that it does work, but it's not 100%, or what you could say is not 100% true. So you have
if it comes back negative, don't get excited. Oh my goodness, there's nothing's going on. It's just not as good a test as it could be.
Coco says it's not true. Coco, what did you go ahead, Dr. Dan? What you say? The thing is what?
What I was going to say is this early detection for any cancer is going to be the best thing. And like I listed, there are cancers that we can detect early. And if we're ignoring the screening tools that are out there available to us, then we're putting ourselves behind the 8 ball. Then we're just kind of playing catch up. If we catch things early, then a lot of things can be cured with even minimal invasion and minimal surgeries, minimal medications that can cause other complications.
Dr. D. Nice, thank you very much. Screening is important.
Ladies, I want to jump in again.
Yes,
I have to jump in too. Go ahead, Kim.
Also, I want to say this. Deandra mentioned that she did a self breast exam when she felt what was happening to her. One of the exams, and I only know this from being there with my dad. Maybe it's different for everyone, but I know this from being there with my dad. They wanted to insert a finger to feel the what his prostate felt like. Was it hard? Was it medium? With pause. Was it hard? Medium? Was it soft? The first issue was my father allowing him to do that. That was the first issue. My dad said, "You are now. What the hell do you? Who do you think you are trying to put your finger up my?" So that was the first issue. And then once my father came around to allowing him to do that, they said, well, his prostate is kind of firm, which was not good. So again, my father has actually is completing his last round of hormone shots today. So
that's great.
Yes,
that's great.
He's dealing with a little bit of dementia. I think he's trying to fool us though. But he's
recovering from that finger in the butt. That's what he
It took his memory.
Yes. But recognize that. These are things that we don't want to do. We don't want to go get the finger put in your butt, because then you got to say no homo, I'm not gay. Then you got to prove to everybody. No, it's this. Unfortunately,
so go get that finger and just yell out pause, and slip no diddy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, you know I was going to get to this whole show without come on.
No, but congratulations to your father, Kim. The only thing that I have to say, last but not least, is, just to wrap this up in a bow, I think that it's good to advocate for yourself, right? And all through this journey of our conversation, we all know that cancer is not a one package deal. There's different types of cancers. My issue is, however, that the treatment of cancer seems to be the same across the board.
Yes.
Like every cancer should not be treated the same.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, listening to a doctor, get vague about different treatments and whatever, I usually question everything, because to me, I've noticed in Rock's, Rock is an EMT, was an EMT. He told me a lot of things about doctors in the medical industry. He says, you know what the difference is between a doctor with an A, when they graduate cum laude, and a doctor that, just barely makes it? It's a doctor, and we've been so trained to listen to them, thinking that they are, the advocates for our own health, that we end up dying in their care, because they seem to treat everyone the same. Mm-hmm. And Black people in particular, they treat Black people differently. So
Black people don't get the best doctors, and you know that, and especially in underserved communities, when you go to these hospitals, I mean, it's really when they say practice in medicine, they really just be practicing. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? So you got to double check, get second opinions. Listen, we got Dr. D Nice on. She understands that. You have to get second and third opinions to really make sure when it comes to your life, you got to treat your life like it's yours. And your life isn't theirs.
Remember when they used to use Black women and men as guinea pigs because they said our skin was tougher. They wanted to know how this worked on us and how that worked.
Oh, we were guinea pigs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in some ways we're still guinea pigs. And so
Tuskegee experiment, they gave us all syphilis. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Henrietta Lacks' family just got compensated for, Henrietta Lacks with the cells.
Oh yeah.
I think her family finally got compensated for the years.
That's awesome.
That they've exploited that woman's cells to heal people. That just didn't understand it. But go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I just wanted us to understand, and it was so important. I'm so glad that Deandra led off with this. The doctors, we have to question them as well. Tell me why you think I should have this as opposed to this. And so, once a doctor understands that you're not just
Dr. D Nice, she just hung up. Take care, Dr. D Nice. I'm sorry about that. She's probably going to work.
Once your doctor understands that you're not just going to accept anything that he says to us, then what he's going to do is work hard. He's going to work harder to let us know that he knows what he's talking about as it pertains to us, the individual.
Yes, absolutely. That's called browbeating. And this is what is done, because the belief is we know what's best for you. You don't know what's best for you.
Yeah.
And my
right.
this, guess what? I'm the one that has to live with me. So whatever decision I make, it's going to be the decision that resonates with me. I have
That's
to
correct. That's right.
But in order to confidently make that decision, I have to educate myself.
That's right.
Yes, education is key. It's key.
And without the information,
well, let me wrap this up. We're running out of time today. First of all, let me thank Coco and Kimberly, April Leone. I want to thank Dr. D Nice and all the people in Beanie Long for coming on today. And I also want to thank my queen, the Duchess herself, who came on this morning to really share a very beautiful story of triumph and resilience. And I think that's important in our community, sharing these stories of resilience, because I know that it touches the hearts of people, because cancer and diabetes and all these things that we're going through, if it ain't us, it's a family member, it's somebody very close to us. So that we have to get as much information and share as much knowledge about these things as we because nobody's going to do it for us. We should do it for ourselves. This is a service to our community. Queen, you are a servant, and you are a servant queen. You are a servant to your community. And I think it's important that you continue these conversations on your own platform, because I don't like the fact that you get all the attention when Uncle Lays is out here.
There we go.
The queen when I want to be a king. Shut up, Lindsay. This is Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Queen. I love you so much. This is Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Spectrum Morning Email. Shout out to my OSC family. Shout out to my MOP First family. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. Reggae Health Wednesday. Rude Boy Health Wednesday. And
Rude
food
boy.
is a big problem there. We're going to talk about food down the road. And 3 more weeks of this, and then we're going to go off for the summer. So let's enjoy it. Let's go out with a bang. Y'all have a great day. It's Coco Dreams, Kimberly Robinson, and the Duchess.
Take care, everybody. Have a good day.
We love you all.
See y'all later. Bye-bye. Reggae Wednesday, everybody. And Deandra's book is called Breath by Breath on Audible, Amazon and Audible. Make sure you go check it out, Breath by Breath on Amazon and Audible. And if you want to go check out her book, and I'm quite sure there'll be many more other books that she's going to put out, talking about triumph and resilience and spiritual journeys. Have a great day, everybody.